All right, guys, it's Wednesday, September 17th. We are back with another market update. Usually I have a piece of paper in front of me, but our office Wi-Fi is down, so I can't print anything. So I'll be referring to my screen today. But just to get to the chase, GTA inventory right now is 29,880, which is exactly 100% more than what I recorded January 1st. Very interesting, though. You would think that, okay, maybe the mix is going to be a little bit similar. Like when I look at York Region versus Toronto versus Durham, and then the condo and the freehold mix, but it's actually really different. So some of them are up about 60%. That's on the low side, up 60%. And some of those categories are up about 141%. So it's too long for me to go through the breakdown. I have a nice screenshot that I can send over to you if you're interested in, like, knowing what the mix is and inventory change from the beginning of the year. I could send that over to you. But so overall, we are still higher. But last week to this week, we are actually up 775 units. It's not as much as we were up the previous week. The previous week when I reported, it was more than 1,200. So even that pace has slowed down just a little bit. So last year at this time, we had about 25,200 listings available for sale. Right now, like I said, we have just under 30,000 listings available for sale. So almost an increase of above 4,700 listings available for sale right now. The gap last week was about 21.7%. So we had about 5,200 units more, but right now we have 4,600 units more. So the inventory is kind of getting closer to where we were last year at this time. In terms of sales, this week our sales did kind of spike up. So the number is a little bit alarming. It's a high. It's 33.3%, but the previous week we were actually down almost 20%. So when you look at those two numbers, it's about the same. Last week I was saying we were down because I think it was the schools starting and everyone kind of settling into the routine. So to settle into routine, but those sales needed to kind of happen or firm up. So now we're seeing them kind of come into the system right now. Price, I really don't like looking at it week over week, because when we see these big fluctuations in sales, like, up 30%, down 20%, the price is really hard to gauge week over week. But we have it here, so I'm going to share it with you guys. So this week compared to the 52-week average, that's more of a number I would want to look at. We are down 0.8%, which is on average selling price about $8,500. When I look at it week over week, we're up 8.2% and almost like $83,000 on average price. So I don't really like the week over week. I think looking at the 52-week average selling price versus what the selling price was last week, I think that's a closer match. We are recording this before the Bank of Canada actually announces their interest rate. So that's going to be interesting. Canada has lost a lot of jobs, but our inflation did tick up 0.2% yesterday as well. That's the report we got. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Bank of Canada does. I think the other caveat here also is that the U.S. is actually going to be announcing their interest rate policy after us. So I think Canada might take a more of a conservative approach, see what happens, and then revisit this again in 6 weeks. Hope you guys like this. If you want that analysis, I did a quick little screenshot. Let me know. I'll send it over to you, text or DM me. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Take care.